Oh, there we go. I might have to restart this whole thing. Oh my goodness. So I'm Kurt Van Anen, host of Mañana in the Last Morning Check-In. And unfortunately, I don't think I had the sound on when I first started. So I just wanted to say it was a great weekend. We went mountain biking, camping with the scouts, and we had a great time. Now, if you're listening or watching the replay on LinkedIn, hopefully you've got the patience to get through that quiet moment there. But what a tremendous weekend. And a lot of it has to do with the message I put in the weekly email that just went out today. And that is leadership's not dead. Leadership's not dead. In fact, I saw it with my own two eyes. We see a lot of things right now. We see, all these different activities and momentum in different arenas. And some of us are going, where is the leadership? Like where is leadership? And we look around and we go, oh man, how are we going to raise kids in this era? How are we going to do? Well, newsflash, our parents said the same thing about us, and their parents said the same thing about them. And, generation after generation, leaders somehow erupt, leaders somehow come through. And this scouting trip for me was one of those instances where I was like, we need to worry less. We need to really just pour into these people, into these potential leaders with more energy, more love, more grace, more caring, more direction, more understanding. This is not a political post. This is not something you would see on kurtvananen.com. This is just talking about personal development in general. To see these kids, this group of kids shows up to go, mountain biking and camping for a weekend, and to see how they align in their different roles, or to watch, because I study leadership, right? So I'm seeing these things. I'm seeing, okay, so this kid's got, his badge in medical. He's the first aid kid. He's 18. He's acting as one of the adult leaders. This one, is 14. He falls in the hierarchy here, and they all take their position within the group from a leadership perspective. However, each one had an instance of where they assumed leadership of something special or something that pertained to them. It was so cool to watch. And so I think we have a habit. It's easy for us as humans to look around and see negative or see a lack of something, or go, oh man, there's no leadership coming up for these kids. What are we going to do? What are they going to say? How are they going to survive? And then I watch kids unload trucks, set up camp, organize their ride, lead each other, and encourage each other through the ride, right? A lot of times we think in terms of like Lord of the Flies, right? Where being dominant or being mean or something like that is going to be what rises a leader to the top, right? Keeping a thumb on people. And, when you study things like John Maxwell's works, you begin to realize influence is leadership. And how you influence people, or how you gain the ability to influence people, is so key. And to watch these guys do this, to watch them edify each other and encourage each other on a mountain bike ride when they're not really mountain bikers, was pretty stinking cool. Now, I am a mountain biker, right? And so I was having a blast, and I was given some hints here and there to help some of the newbies. But a trip that would normally take me, 2 hours took like 5 hours, right? And that's okay. That's not a complaint. It's one of those where it's like, man, there's some work to do here. But to watch the dynamic of the group and to see how each person took responsibility for their role or for their position in the success as a group was a pretty amazing experience, especially, like I say, as someone that studies leadership and watches that happen. Now, the cool part is Sunday rolled around, and the normal leader that comes to talk to the kids on Sundays, he's sick. He's not dying or anything, but he just wasn't there. He's sick. And so I had the leader's heart with me from John Maxwell. And I asked the fellows if it would be okay if I took kind of a position here and just said, hey, can we do a devotional with the guys? And this group is sponsored with the church at Olive Branch Community Church. So it's safe to start talking about, hey, can we open in prayer? Can we close in prayer? And it's Sunday. So this was like our service, right? Because we're at camp. And John Maxwell from June 27th starts out with a verse, Proverbs 21, verse 1. And it says, good leadership is a channel of water controlled by God. He directs it to whatever ends he chooses. And then John Maxwell breaks out a couple of paragraphs and there's some bullet points. And it says, leaders transfer ownership for work to those who execute the work. Leaders create an environment where each team member wants to be responsible. Leaders coach the development of personal capabilities, and leaders learn quickly and encourage others to learn efficiently also. The timing of those words with what I had experienced over the weekend was amazing. And, if you're watching the replay here on LinkedIn, or if you follow along in the Mañana No Mas community channels, look at the courses that we have in the Mañana No Mas Academy for leadership and goal setting, and how to track, the attaining of those goals through your key performance indicators. Look at some of the messages we have about physical fitness leading to fiscal fitness, right? And how we tie all that together. All of it was coming to a circle there. And it was so cool to be there and to be a part of that. And what's even better is not only did these young men illustrate the mechanics of leadership, I'm trying to pick my words very, very specifically. Not only did they demonstrate the mechanics of leadership, but when we had a discussion after reading parts of this book, it became apparent to me that they also understood the psychological building blocks of leadership and how they were executing as a group. So that's pretty rare in life, where someone executes leadership and recognizes the execution while it's happening. And that, to me, maybe that's a benefit of Scouts. Maybe that's a benefit of the way that this organization is put together. Maybe that's a benefit of the adult leadership that's been around this particular troop for an established amount of time, right? But to be there, to see it all unfold, to see it in practice, it did my heart good. Because like I said, remember, every generation has looked at the future generation and said, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? How are they going to make it? How are they going to survive? Right? They're going to make it. They're going to survive, and chances are they might help fix some of the issues that this generation is causing now. And so, again, without going down a political rabbit trail and talking about crazy things, I just want to put the positive vibe out there that leadership is alive and well. I see it in practice. I see it being cultivated. Now, the directions that leadership chooses down the road may have some other ramifications or some other situations follow it. But leadership is alive, and I saw it, and it is wonderful. And I'm thrilled that there are some people out there that are going to be able to pick up the banner and run with it, right? So in the email I put out for today, right, I do a weekly email that goes out, put in some value-added material. Due to the inspiration of this weekend and this reading with John C. Maxwell, I decided to include links to the free courses that are in the Mañana No Mas Academy. One is a book review for John Maxwell's Leadership, and one is a book review for the 5 Levels of Leadership, also from John Maxwell. These are some of my perceptions and some of my thoughts, doing a chapter by chapter by chapter review of those books. And the access is free, right? So you join the community, you get access to the inside of the community, you get to participate in the book review, read the book yourself alongside of it, maybe read a chapter and then go take a look at the review of the chapter that we did, right? And then read another chapter and then take a look at it. And so even if it takes you 10 weeks to go through a course, who cares? It's free. I'm giving it to you, right? But I want to pay it forward, and I want to help people, again, not only go through the mechanics of leadership, but to understand, mentally, right? I want them to understand what those mechanics of leadership are, what they're experiencing, and what to expect, or how to use a gift of discernment to know, am I following the right person? Am I leading the right people? Am I developing the right team? And so many of these questions that come up are answered when we take a moment and we develop ourselves, we read, and then we give thought to it. And so that's it. That's it for today. The only other thing you're going to see from me today is you're going to see some other things popping online about FNX. FNX is a brand. They reached out to me. I've had a lot of brands reaching out lately, say, hey, would you be an ambassador for this or an ambassador for that? Or we like your social, and would you be willing to be an influencer for our whatever? And in most instances, the answer is no. But in this instance, I decided to give it a shot. So I jumped on board with FNX, and they sent me some product, and so we're going to give it a shot. We're going to take a look at their stuff. They've got they've got whey protein, BCAAs, recovery drinks, all kinds of stuff. And we're going to try some of that out. And I'll let you guys know on my social exactly how I feel about it, what it does for me. And we'll have some affiliate links to throw up if that's something that you want to be a part of. And I thought, since we had the training material that went from physical fitness to fiscal fitness, I thought that it fit well with what we do inside the academy. So, I'm not looking to advertise everything under the sun, but when a product so greatly aligns with something that I'm already doing, I think it's worth taking a look at. And if we can do the affiliate and kind of help fund the academy that way, that would be fantastic. Folks, have a great Monday. Know that the rest of the week is there for you to slay, to kill, to go after it. Be aggressive. Go get it. Go get you